Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping right into the ring to break down the psychological warfare of a one-on-one wrestling match. Because, sometimes the real fight isn't about who's stronger. It's a straight-up battle of wills.
All right, so let's get right to it. The match doesn't kick off with a bell. Nope. It starts with this bold declaration from the challenger, Jax. He's not just looking for a scrap, he's practically ordering one. And that one line, man, it sets the whole tone for everything that's about to happen.
So right away, this first exchange lays out the whole story for us. I mean, it's the classic setup, right? You've got the arrogant veteran getting called out by the super cocky, maybe too cocky, newcomer. The battle lines are drawn in their heads before anyone even throws a punch.
So here's the tale of the tape. In one corner, you've got Austin Cooper, the reigning champ. He's dismissive, he's arrogant, and his whole game is just about physical punishment. And in the other corner, you got Jax, the self-proclaimed future champ. He's cocky, he's defiant, and he's betting everything, and I mean everything, on his mental game.
So Cooper immediately tries to establish who's boss. But check out how he does it. It's not with a takedown or a hold. It's with an insult. He calls him skinny boy. I mean, that's a direct shot, right? He's trying to belittle Jax, to paint him as some kid who doesn't even belong in the same ring.
But Jax, he's not having any of it. He doesn't just stand there and take it. No way. He fires right back, challenging Cooper's authority from the jump. He's basically sending a message, I'm not here to kiss the ring. I'm here to take your spot.
Okay, so now the physical part of the match gets going, and it turns into this relentless grind. And this is where you see the veteran in Cooper. He knows that winning isn't about one big, flashy move. Nah, it's about applying that constant, wearing pressure, both with his body and with his words.
You can see Cooper's strategy here is basically a two-pronged attack. On one hand, he's maintaining constant physical control. But at the same time, he's just unleashing this verbal assault, targeted insults, condescending questions, mocking Jax when he's in pain. It's all designed to get inside his head and completely shatter his focus.
And the insults he's using? They're classic, they're direct, nothing fancy or clever about them. They're just verbal gut punches, designed purely to get a raw emotional reaction out of Jax.
And this line right here, who's your daddy? This pretty much sums up his whole tactic. Think about it. By asking that over and over, he's trying to frame himself not just as the better wrestler, but as the authority figure. He's trying to reduce Jax to a child who needs to be put in his place.
All right, so let's flip it around and look at how Jax is handling all this. Because while he is getting absolutely dominated physically, his entire defense is psychological. He just flat out refuses to play by Cooper's rules.
So while he's under all this insane pressure, Jax finds his comeback. His mantra, really. I'm just warming up. He keeps saying it. It's such a brilliant move because he's completely reframing the whole thing. He's denying Cooper any satisfaction of seeing him hurt.
So you see Jax building this mental fortress around himself. He's not just taking the punishment, he's fighting back on his own turf. He's reframing the story, he's firing back with his own insults, and he never, ever stops reminding Cooper that he's the future champ.
And he pushes this idea relentlessly, even when he's in the worst possible position. I mean, think about it. He's flat on his back, Cooper is in total control, and he's still dictating his own reality. He's telling the champ, hey, you're just a speed bump on my way to the top.
Now, in the middle of all this trash talk, Cooper threatens a very specific move, the Boston Crab. And for anyone who doesn't know, this is a seriously painful submission hold. It puts a ton of pressure on your back and your legs, so yeah, the threat is very, very real.
But, mental toughness can only take you so far. There's a limit. And pretty much every battle, whether it's physical or mental, eventually hits a breaking point, a moment where you just can't ignore the physical reality anymore. And this match, well, it's no different.
The pressure just keeps building and building. Cooper is just not letting up. And you can see that despite all the tough talk, Jax is in a lot of pain. So the real question becomes, what's going to give out first? His body or his mind? And right there, we get our answer. The physical punishment is just too much. Cooper locks in a submission, throws in one last taunt for good measure, and forces Jax to tap out. The physical fight is over.
So with the win secured, Cooper makes sure there's zero doubt about who's on top. His victory speech is short, sweet, and to the point. He came in the champ and he's leaving the champ. For him, the natural order of things has been restored.
But here's the thing. Even after losing, Jax kind of gets the last word. He gives this grudging nod of respect. It's not him saying sorry, not at all. It's more like an acknowledgement of the war they just went through, a sign of respect that was earned, not given.
So, what's the big takeaway from this whole Raw confrontation? The match might be over, but the story isn't quite finished. Let's break down the final scorecard, not in points, but in terms of the psychology.
And this really summarizes the whole conflict, doesn't it? You had Austin Cooper, who won the physical fight using a combo of brute force and taunts. But then you have Jax. Yeah, he was physically defeated, but he stayed defiant right up to the very end. He was beaten, sure, but you could argue he was never actually broken.
And all of this leaves us with one final thought to chew on. This whole breakdown wasn't really just about a wrestling match. It was a deep dive into the nature of competition itself. And it makes you wonder, when two people clash like this, what does it really mean to win? Is it all about physical dominance, or is it about having a spirit that just refuses to break? Something to think about.